everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. You know, there is a saying, especially in the investment world, put your money where your mouth is. Well, I talk a lot about stocks and several of my favorite plays, but I thought today I would actually show you how much I have invested in each of these particular ticker symbols. Now, there's 5 that are heavy in my portfolio. These are the ones that have made the most gains, and quite frankly, they have the most potential on the horizon. But I'm not just going to show them to you. I'm actually going to explain why I believe in these stocks, and I am going to show you how to potentially get exposure yourself, because although they have grown quite a bit, there is so much in front of these particular ticker symbols that I believe can grow your family's wealth significantly. I will also show you where I plan to buy in even heavier on these ticker symbols, and if I'm going to be doing one of my favorite activities, selling puts, what level I would sell puts at for these particular ticker symbols. My largest position is in none other, and I know you can guess this, but it's Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. I have over $800,000 in this play alone, and I think it's just getting started. But why do I have so much confidence in it? It's because I actually worked in corporate America for almost 30 years, and one of our largest expenses were analysts, and they would take forever to analyze the data and try to come up with actionable items that we could use to make our business better. Well, Palantir came along and they solved for that issue literally with the touch of a button. I love their business model. I love how they will show a company how they can help them grow in a matter of just minutes. And then once the company is hooked on all of the savings or all of the revenue generation that they show it, then that company is willing to pay a lot more for contracts so that they don't have to give up this wonderful new tool that they have found. And quite frankly, if you have 2 companies in the same industry and one uses Palantir and the other one does not, Palantir company is going to pull ahead, and that makes it even more valuable, because when they want to level the playing field, they're going to have to pick up the phone and call Palantir to assess their business as well. So you have the stability of the government contracts, but then you couple that with the unlimited upside of the commercial opportunities, and this stock is going to be one for the record books. I actually got my children into this stock when it was closer to about $7.95, and we have a lot of fun looking at their portfolios and seeing the growth. This is the one stock when I have friends and family that know that I trade for a living and they ask, what's my favorite play? I always tell them Palantir. My second stock that I have over $350,000 invested in is Tesla, and it makes sense. I'm actually filming in a Tesla. Once I learned so much about this company, I decided to go ahead and buy the vehicle. Now, I'm fully aware of the lagging sales with their vehicles and how that is something that makes this company overvalued at this point. But the sheer technology from experiencing it firsthand, I'm going to tell you something that happened to me. I was recently in Dallas for a meet and greet with all of my community, and Dallas highways are very complicated and there's a lot of moving parts to it. I decided I was just going to trust Tesla. I put it on auto drive, I put in my destination, and all I did was sit there and watch it do its thing. It handled the highways, all the complicated systems, like a boss. It accelerated when it needed to. When I was driving the highways, it would get over to the right-hand lane when it saw a vehicle approaching fast behind, and then it would move over to the left and accelerate just enough to get me back in position so that I'd get to my destination on time. I can only imagine how valuable this company is going to be once they fully unleash their unsupervised self-driving. It is going to be a game changer for those that traditionally would stay out of driving, but then they can't. Think about elderly, think about children, think about the safety on the highways. If every vehicle was self-driving, accidents would be so much less likely if you had everyone respecting the rules of the road like a self-driving vehicle does. But again, that's just the beginning. The humanoid robots, that is a significant game changer. And I know it seems a little odd. Even my own kids are like, Mom, please do not get a robot. But once it becomes more mainstream and you do have the support of humanoid robots helping us with everyday tasks, it's going to be something that people get a lot more comfortable with, and that's where the real revenue comes comes in. No, it won't happen tomorrow, but that gives me more time to get exposure to this game-changing technology. My third ticker symbol, it's actually a blended basket of stocks. It's the NASDAQ, the QQQ, and I have over $350,000 invested in this particular ticker symbol. But let me explain why. We are just getting started with the AI revolution, and most of what's in the NASDAQ has exposure to AI, and that's where all the growth potential is. Think about it. When we just first started using ChatGPT, all the information would come out wrong. It couldn't handle complicated questions. And more often than not, you got the answer of that ChatGPT is unable to answer that question. Well, now let's look what we can do. We can take our photographs of our favorite little furry friends and turn them into their human form. We can take ourselves and turn us into what we would look like as one of our furry friends. And the best thing about exposure to a blended ETF, you can go in a lot heavier because you have the insulation of a basket of stocks, and it's not just reliant on one CEO or one earnings report that goes bad to tank your stock. It adds some stability to your account. And for those of you that like to swing trade the SPY and Qs, well, this is perfect because they have daily options. You can actually run the wheel strategy on the Qs and the SPY daily and make significant income. The fourth stock that I have significant exposure to is NVIDIA. I have over $100,000 in this ticker symbol, and NVIDIA is in the center of everything I do, especially personally that I run a YouTube channel and I rely on great graphics and speed. That's where NVIDIA comes in. Now, NVIDIA has had explosive growth, and luckily I was on the front end of that. But again, just like all these other stocks, I think there is a lot of opportunity left as the AI revolution picks up. And the last ticker symbol that I wanted to share with you that I have significant exposure to, it's Robinhood. And that's perfect because I'm a trader. But let me explain to you why I have over $85,000 in this particular ticker symbol. I have watched Robinhood grow. I remember when I first got started with Robinhood, I liked the user-friendly interface, but once I became a more serious investor and trader, it just didn't fit my needs. But they realized that now they are attracting people with multi-million-dollar accounts. They have some great marketing practices that have brought others along with them, and they are offering things that we really are enjoying using now. We have a wonderful interface with full option chains now. We have futures, we have crypto, and they're just now getting started with the banking industry. That's going to be where significant money comes in once everyone realizes how competitive Robinhood is. Again, they are just getting started. That $85,000 investment, I have no doubt that will be well over $1 million in the next decade. So now that you have the ticker symbols, let's talk about how to get exposure to them. Well, the first way, it's so easy and it's very passive. It's dollar cost averaging. I have each of these ticker symbols on a daily buy, and if we have a red day, I just double the buy. It's that simple. It's not complicated, and over time it gives you great exposure that will grow your wealth. The other way is through selling puts. Sometimes I get assigned, sometimes I don't. If I get assigned, that's when the real opportunity comes in, because then I can just wait until the stock pulls up, which it eventually does, and I can start selling covered calls. If I don't get assigned, then I get to keep all the premium, and I will funnel that premium back into these sticker symbols on red days. It's a great way to trade, and it builds your wealth over time. Now let's go into the computer, and I'm going to show you where I am going in heavier on each of these symbols as we have pullbacks. I have gone through and evaluated each of these ticker symbols based on technical analysis and my experience with buying them. And I have come up with the buy more category and the buy heavier category for myself. With Palantir, with the current price around $125, I plan to buy more around $115, and I plan to buy a lot heavier around $85. For those of you that are wanting to enter into Leap's call options, the buy heavier price might be something to consider. On Tesla, currently around $340, I plan to buy more around $315 and definitely buy heavier under $300 at around $290. For the NASDAQ, currently around $514, I definitely plan to buy more around $506, and I will go in much heavier if it goes back below $500, around $498. For NVIDIA, we have enjoyed recent movement up, and they do have earnings coming up, so it may be a while before we see some of these lower numbers. I do plan to buy more around the 113 mark, buy heavier if we get anywhere near 100 again at 108. Looking at Robinhood currently around $58, I plan to buy more around $52, and I will buy much heavier around the $40 mark. For those of you that like to sell options, if you are looking at anywhere from 1 week to possibly 1 month, you may want to consider the strike price under the buy more category. And for those of you that like to go further out, maybe selling skips puts or skips leaps, consider using the strike price in the buy heavier category. I hope you found that helpful, and if you are tired of trading alone and trying to figure this out, considering joining my Discord community, remember, if you're with me trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Now, if you want to see one of my recent videos where I show you how to take a very small amount of money and turn it into potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can watch that video right here.